The Detroit Lions signed a center. We're going to get into what that means for the Lions and the offensive line. We're going to talk about the offensive line. Did they know about Frank Ragnow's departure? I think we all kind of had an idea. Interesting news with the long snapper, former long snapper, a really funny one. And we're going to get into a dumb trade rumor, the never-ending trade rumor that just never ends and ends and ends and ends. We're going to mock it. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, you might as well subscribe to the channel. Why is that? Because, look, we're talking news and rumors every single day. And if you're a Lions fan, I say, what the hell, man? Like, don't you want to know your information? So, without further ado, let's get this thing started. I pride myself with graphics, and that's why I feel bad I have to say again to this today. I will not have the greatest graphics in today's video. I threw my back out a couple days ago, as you guys know. It's hard for me to sit in a chair doing graphics when my back is screaming. Now it's feeling a little bit better today, so hopefully tomorrow we'll get back to the graphics and give you guys the videos you deserve here. So let's just jump into here. The Lions signed a veteran offensive lineman, is center Tristan Cullen for depth of the competition along the offensive line. Now, I could have made a great video about this and talk about it. Actually, I knew it happened yesterday. It happened. I was like, yeah, I'll wait on a little bit. I know a lot of people already talk about it, you know, because of the Frank Ragnar. It's big news, and I'll let other people get this out of there. I think when it thinks to Colin here, he's just going to, just like we said in the video I made yesterday, it's more of just competition. It's more of depth upon the offensive line. And come on, camera. There we go. More on the offensive line, and I don't see him being a starter. Now, look, it's good to have folks that can play that position. Obviously, it's a Graham Glasgow, or what we all believe it to be, Tate Ratledge's job to have. It's definitely going to be Tate Ratledge, but there's nothing wrong with getting a guy that's have experience, and that's awesome. He can play center. He can play on the offensive line. He's going to be competing again with Michael Neese and Kingsley Egukin. I remember reading articles saying Kingsley Egukin's a player that we all need to pay attention to. I don't really believe so. I think it's more going to be Tate Ratledge and Graham Glasgow. What do you guys think of the signing? A, B, C, D, or F? I'm going to give this a B signing. Why is this? Well, because it's a depth piece, and I'm never going to get too up or too down on a depth piece. Now, it looks like that the Lions have been hinting at a Frank Ragnar retirement. Pride Detroit made an article here talking about looking at past references of Dan Campbell and other individuals, and it definitely looks like that. But let's keep it a buck. We all kind of thought, like, every year I think we are all like this, but here's what Dan Campbell says about the going past there. But Graham's somebody that we still value because he's versatile. He can also play center. I think people get some excellent job at center. Matter of fact, he's confidence in him. Again, the fact that we know he can play that position lets you breathe easier. Compete with these guys. Versatility. Tate Ratledge. Last fall, I took long snaps at center, and just I can't imagine a guard. I mean, it was a big transition. I had to use it. I took it a few days. I think that it comes down to same apply, figuring out different footwork and placements. All this stuff is talking about center, and the idea that the Lions kind of knew that this was going to occur. Look, I think we all kind of knew at some point. We didn't know it was going to happen this year. I don't know if Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell knew it'd be this year. Because if they did, I think maybe they would have targeted a center, maybe even last year or even this year. Instead, they went Tyleik Williams at 28. There was a run on linemen, and so I think that definitely hurt the Lions. But look, we got Tate Ratledge, and he's going to have to learn. Unfortunately, he's going to have to put in a lot of work this offseason. But we do got Graham Glasgow that can come in there and hold the fort down if Ratledge is not ready. You know, and I guess if there's an injury, and that's, you can go to the guy we just signed here, right? Tristan Cullen. I'll expect a whole lot from him, but he's a guy that has some sort of experience. May not be the best, but it's some, and we all figured just a little bit somebody would come in here. And let's continue with the long snapper, former long snapper. Former Lions long snapper Jake McQuaid reportedly escorted out police out of by church on Saturday, May 31st, for interrupting mass question whether the priest had watched pornography on church equipment. He stood up and says, "Please take a second. We want to put these rumors to rest. Can you answer me?" Fact or fiction, McQuaid said in the videos that were provided to WCPO. So he got escorted out of church by the police, former long snapper. So that's interesting, crazy stuff right there. I don't know what's going on. That's interesting news. I just had to put it in there as interest. I don't know what else to say. In the comments, what do you think about former long snapper doing all that? Cray. Let's get to the dumb trade rumor that never ends. Jameson Williams trade rumor. It's Jameson Williams trade rumor here. Jameson Williams trade rumor there. Jameson's going to get traded. He's going to get traded. This one has him getting traded to the Buffalo Bills. He's going to get... And there's a lot of these. I literally just put Detroit Lions news, and they all popped up. There has to be 4 of them about Jameson Williams trade rumors. Jameson Williams, stunning. Jameson Williams. The defeating of the Jameson Williams. Another one. Stunning Bills line playmaker to help Josh Allen. It's not happening. Why does everyone want to trade Jameson Williams? I don't understand this. Every day there's a new Jameson Williams article of trading. Folks, we're not trading Jameson Williams. I don't see why is this coming up every day. I really don't get it. Okay, so now we're gonna. I'm just tired of talking about it. Let's get into this. This one's interesting. Everybody is talking to me about this. I'm getting hit because the rag now. Retiring, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn leaving, Zeitler leaving. Has the Detroit Lions Super Bowl win closed? Has it closed? And you can listen to it. You can whatever. This conversation is going on everywhere, so this is just one of 5 million conversations that's going on. Oh, the back. Hey. It's just one of many. Here's the deal. Lions Super Bowl window is not closed. It's not going to be closed. Could they have a year, obviously, that they get... Last year, we were one and done in the playoffs. Before that, we're, out of the playoffs. We're still a good team. We're still a really good team. Last year, we got hurt on the defensive line, right? We had Aiden Hutchinson go down, Davenport. We had all these injuries. And I said last year, I was like, everyone said, oh, we're just going to go to the Super Bowl because the defense is back. I said, what happens if we lose pieces of the offense? What happens if there's injuries on the offense? The offensive line was intact last year. Long and behold, Frank Ragnow retires. Right? There's going to be injuries. There's going to be retirements. There's going to be things that hurts this team. And Ragnow is definitely a big piece that hurt the team that he retired. Doesn't mean our Super Bowl window is closed. It just means it just got harder. Right? We were 15-2 without Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I guess I don't think we're going to go 15-2 again. But I'm just saying you don't know what you don't know until we don't know. This is the NFL. We have no idea. Yes, the Lions are a worse, better team today. They were when Frank Ragnow was on the team. That's 100% fact, but we don't know what's going to happen at all. And we still got 2 guys in this franchise. May I say, really did a good job on this team, and it's called Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Okay. Yes, it's tougher. Yes, it's going to be tough. But it's not closed. If you can continue to draft players, folks, how is it closed? What if Ratledge comes out and ends up being just as good as a Frank Ragnow, right? In a year or two, or he comes out and he's really good. Well, okay. What if Giovanni Manu comes out? Like, you don't know. What if we draft a quarterback after Goff is gone? The Super Bowl window continues. We can't say it's closed. The season has not started yet. Is it harder? Yes. Is this team different than last year? 100%. We don't know. What if the defense is way better than we think? We have no idea. What if Calvin Shepard is better than Aaron Glenn? What if not having Ben Johnson with their new OC, it's a little bit different. We run on 3rd and 1, and we're not going on 4th down as much. We have no idea what's going to happen. Let's keep it a buck. Anybody that says they're Nostradamus and they got the keys to the information, it's a lie. Because if they did, we'd all be betting money on this. We'd all be putting money down and all this. I don't know how the line's going to be this year, but the window is not closed. The window is going to be open as long as you can draft, as long as you got a good coaching staff, and we got hella good players. It's not like we're hey, so the idea is not closed. It's harder. Do I think that the Lions are worse? Yes. Do I think it's super close? Absolutely not, folks. If I thought the Super Bowl window was closed, I would be coming on here and being, and it would be rough, right? If I knew that I got that every game I'm going on is pretty much is not worth it, I would tell you that. I would tell you that the Super Bowl win's closed. Just a couple years ago, with the Matt Patricia era, everyone thought we were going to go 10, 11, 12 wins. I had them 3 to 5. I kept it a buck. No, the line Super Bowl win's not closed. It's harder. It's not closed. Okay? Can't wait for the season. Can't wait to watch Detroit Lions football and see this team get better each week. That's all I want to see. Give me your thoughts in the comments, folks. Adios.